Guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back to watch another video. It is so good to have you here with me again today. So as you can tell from the title of today's video, we're going to be talking all about financial goals. Now I know we are now in April, so January, February, March, the first quarter of 2023 has already gone. So you might be thinking, why are we talking about goals when the first quarter is already up? But I think now is a brilliant time to talk about goals, because now is around the time whereby those goals that we set at the start of the year are now a distant memory. So in today's video, what I really wanted to do is bring us back on track and let us really consider some goals that you can still set for 2023. Yes, the first 3 months are gone, but there are still 9 more months left in this year, and you can do some fantastic things with your finances just by setting some intentional goals and working on a daily basis to achieve them. Alternatively, you may be one of those people that didn't set any goals at the start of the year, in which case this video is perfectly timed for you to make sure that you're making the most of the last 9 months left of this year. I think when you don't set a goal and an intention for your time, what tends to happen is the time just passes by without you achieving as much as you possibly can. I think when you actually are intentional about writing down your goals, but not just any kind of goals, but smart goals. And when we talk about smart goals, we're talking about goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So I did a whole video on this years ago. I'll link it down here and up there so you can watch it after this video to really help you when it comes to setting those financial goals. Because it's one thing setting a goal, but if it's a flaky goal, a goal that doesn't have much substance to it, what you find is the year is going to go by and you're not actually going to be sure how successful you were at achieving that goal. So an example of a flaky goal I would give is, I want to save a lot of money this year. Okay, that's fantastic. You want to save a lot of money, but how much money specifically do you want to save? A smart goal would be, I want to save £10,000 by the end of the year. Making it a quantifiable goal and giving a specific time frame makes it a goal that you can measure, and if you can measure it, you can know exactly how well you've done or how close you've come to achieving it. So I'm a mum of 3, soon to be 4, and I think financial self-care is something that we don't talk about enough, and many of us don't prioritize. I think really prioritizing your financial goals as a mother is so important, because what we do a lot of the times as mums is focus on everybody else in the family and prioritize everybody else without necessarily focusing on what's important to us and the financial goals that we want to pursue ourselves. And that's why in today's video I really want to take the time to share different financial goals that you can set this year, so that this time next year, or even come December 2023, you can look back at how much progress you've made towards achieving these financial goals. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the 10 different financial goals that I think you should consider setting for the remainder of 2023. I think if you could pursue just a handful of these goals this year, you're going to finish 2023 in a lot stronger financial position than you were when you started this year. Surprise, surprise! I'm going to start at number 1 with creating a budget. If you've been on this channel for any length of time, you'll know that I talk about budgets at any opportunity I get, and that is because I think they're so vital and pivotal in setting that financial foundation that you need to pursue your financial goals. So if you don't have a budget in place, that's where you really want to start. You want to start sitting down, looking at your numbers and taking stock of exactly what you have coming in on a monthly basis and what you have going out on a monthly basis, and look at the difference between the two, and look at where you can make cutbacks in order to free up money in your budget to put towards all the other financial goals in which we're going to be discussing in this video. So you may find budgeting difficult at first, but I promise you, if you stick at it and you remain consistent with it, you're going to find your flow, you're going to find your rhythm, and you're going to find a method that works and a system that works for you, so that you're mastering your money and your money isn't mastering you. If you don't have a budget template that you're currently using, I do have my zero-based budget template. I have 2 versions actually. I'll link both below. So I have a free version which is a lot more simplistic, and I also have a paid version which is a lot more comprehensive, and that's the one that I use on a monthly basis to manage my personal finances. Any of the 2 will help you if you're a beginner to budgeting, but I would recommend getting the paid version, not just because I'm going to get paid, but because it's a lot more comprehensive and it gives you a full overview of your budget on a monthly basis. So then at the end of the year, you have a good tracker of exactly how much is coming, exactly how much you spent and where. The second goal that you want to create and prioritize is building that emergency fund. Do you have an emergency fund in place if the worst should happen? What will happen if your car broke down tomorrow? What would happen if your boiler went in your house? What would be the contingency plan? Are you one of those people that as soon as an emergency arises, you think, let me draw from my credit card? If so, why not make 2023 the year that you bail yourself out and you actually take financial responsibility for yourself and pay for your own financial emergencies? Having that emergency fund in place really does create that sense of self-reliance and not rely on somebody else to bail you out of the financial hole that you may have found yourself. Yes, I know it's not going to be easy in these economic times. Trust me, I am feeling the pinch when it comes to all the expenses that are just rising at a crippling rate. But equally, what can we do with the resources we have available, and what can we do to make that additional money in order to build up that emergency fund quickly? Are there items in your house that you haven't been using that are just there gathering dust? What can you sell to make additional money to get that emergency fund going? Work-wise, what can you do to earn extra money in order to build that emergency fund quickly too? Another financial goal that you want to set for this year is to pay down any unnecessary consumer debt that you have. When I talk about consumer debt, I'm talking about unsecured debt, so things like credit cards, overdrafts, store cards, things of that nature where you're typically paying quite a high interest on that debt. You really want to prioritize paying that off as a financial goal for 2023. Depending on how much debt you have, it might take you longer than the rest of this year to pay it off. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't set it as a financial goal. You might want to say, within the next 9 months, I want to pay £500 of my credit card debt off. Or you might say, I want to pay £1,000 off. Whatever the goal amount is, just write it down and know exactly what you're working towards. And I think the beauty of doing this and being very specific with that financial goal is, number one, you're setting your intention, which makes it more likely that you're going to do it. And number two, you have something to measure yourself against when it comes to the end of the year. If you set the goal of paying off £1,800 by the end of the year, that means you're going to be paying £200 towards that debt every single month. By the end of the year, if you've done that, you're going to feel so accomplished, like, wow, I set this goal back in April and look at where I am today. I've paid off that amount of debt. But if you don't set those kind of financial goals, what tends to happen is you're going to stick to making those minimum payments. If you know anything about how interest can work, a lot of times when it comes to debt, you paying the monthly minimum repayment is just you just covering the interest and not actually paying the principal debt amount, which means you end up paying significantly more back to that creditor, which you really don't want to do. So definitely, if you have high interest consumer debt, like I said before, prioritize paying that debt in 2023. Set yourself the financial goal and be intentional about working towards it. Have you ever sat down and thought about your plans for retirement? If you haven't, now might be a time to do so. I know you'll probably look at me thinking, Tola, you're too young to be talking about retirement. I know I've got a young face. I'm not as young as I look. Now is the time to start thinking about retirement, because before you know it, that time is going to come so quick and you're not going to realize it, and you're going to look back and think, oh my gosh, how did I get here without having any financial plans in place? While you're young, while you're able to work, while you're able to save, invest, plan for your future, etc., now's the time to really start thinking, what do I want my retirement to look like? According to recent studies, there's over 4 million people in the UK that have not saved enough money towards their retirement. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that is a very scary statistic, and I don't want that to be me, and I definitely do not want that to be you. So whether you're deciding to use your workplace pension and maximizing your contribution in order to make sure you're getting the maximum contribution from your employer, or you have your own individual retirement plan in place which you're working towards, there are so many different ways that you can start saving towards those golden years. Another financial goal for you to consider, particularly if you are a parent, is saving for your children's future. But not just saving, also investing for your children's future. How much you want to be saving and investing on a monthly basis towards your children for their future, because as you know, if you're a parent, these kids grow so fast. You blink and they go from 0 to 1, and then before you know it, so I've heard, they turn 18 and you're like, where has all these years gone? So what you want to do now, while you still have the time, while you're thinking about it, set some financial goals that you want to achieve for your children so that you can secure their financial future. So in the UK, when it comes to saving for your children's future, you can use things like junior ISA accounts. You can also use junior stocks and shares ISA account, which I think are better options, just because you're not just saving the money, you're also investing that money for them, which means by the time they take the money out, they will have a lot more in there than they would if you just use the normal junior ISA account. What's also great about these accounts is that they're tax-free savings accounts, which means the money that you put in there on a yearly basis is saved tax-free, and then in the future you have options to do whatever you want to do with that money. So you can use it to pay towards their university fees or their accommodation fees or towards buying their first property. The main thing is that you have that money set aside so that you give those children options for the future. So as we continue in 2023, really think about those financial goals when it comes to your children, and what do you want to do financially to secure their future this year, because this year is going to go by regardless of whether you put money aside for them or not. But what can you do within the next 9 months so that they're in a better financial position when they get to adulthood? Another financial goal that you want to consider this year, if you're yet to do so, is to protect yourself and your family by taking out insurance. I know insurance is not the most exciting of topics for us to be discussing, but I think it is a very important one, particularly if you have a family and you have children, because you want to make sure that your loved ones are protected should the worst happen to you. There's so many different life insurances that you can consider taking out. So you've got life insurance, you've got income protection, you've got health insurance, you've got home insurance. All these different insurance policies are really going to help to ensure that your family is protected. Make sure you do your due diligence, make sure you do your research to make sure that you are taking out the appropriate insurance cover required for yourself and for your family, because you don't want to take out more than you need and spend a fortune, but equally you want to make sure you have enough cover should the worst happen to you or a family member. Another financial goal that you want to set yourself is to pay yourself first. So if you're one of those people that think about savings last when it comes to payday, so you've paid for all your bills, you've paid for your shopping, you've paid your groceries, you've done your spending, you've lived your life for the month, and then whatever's left at the end of the month is what you save. Set yourself that financial goal this year, that this will be the year I start to pay myself first. If it's something that you're not used to doing, saying that you're going to pay yourself 10% every single month may be a bit of a stretch, but what I like to recommend people do is start small and then grow from there. Maybe in the first month, rather than saving 10% of your income, just save 1%, then in the second month save 2%, then in the third month save 3%. By the end of 2023, you can be saving 9% of your income on a monthly basis. And once you've started that discipline, it's going to put you in very good standing as you enter into 2024 to be in that position to save 10% of your income first before doing anything else for the month. A great way to be able to successfully do this is to automate that process. So that might not be something you're able to do this month while you're growing the savings on a monthly basis by 1%. However, come 2024, once you've got the swing of it, the hang of it, and are confident that you can pay yourself a 10th every single month, automate that process so that that money comes out of your account like a bill or like a direct debit, and that way you can save it and forget it without you having to be the person to put that money into your savings account. That way you're more than likely to be able to successfully achieve that goal. Another financial goal that you can consider setting this year is making this the year that you work on your credit score. When was the last time you went into Experian or one of those websites to check what your credit score actually is? If that's something you've never done or you haven't done in a very long time, maybe that's a goal that you can set yourself for this year, to check your credit score, see where it's at, and do the work required to improve that credit score. In case you don't know what your credit score is your financial reputation. It's a number that tells lenders how good you are with money or with credit. If you have a good credit score, it makes it easier for you to access finances, access loans, access credit cards, access contracts and things of that nature. And it also helps you to get more favorable terms the better your credit score is. Another financial goal that you want to consider setting for 2023, if you're yet to do so, is investment. Investment. If investing is something that is new to you, it might seem like such a scary thing to embark on. You might be thinking, where on earth do I even begin? But don't let fear or not understanding the investments that are right for you to make stop you from learning how to invest. There's so many different investments that you can consider looking into, from stocks and shares to bonds to properties to gold. The list is endless, and I know it can be overwhelming, but what you can do is set yourself a goal of investing in knowledge, investing in understanding how to make your money start compounding and working for you to make you more money. What's the kind of investment opportunities that are out there? Which ones are higher risk, lower risk? Which ones align with your level of risk tolerance? Just do your research. That could be something you set as a financial goal. Literally research the different investing options that are available to me and make a decision on how I'm going to start investing my money for 2024. That's a quantifiable goal that you can set for the rest of 2023. Commit to learning get a plan in place by the end of the year, so that next year you can start investing and really make your money start to work for you. So the last financial goal is the goal of setting all of these financial goals for the year. So what is it that you're going to achieve financially in the year of 2023? So we've talked about so many different things that you can try out, different areas of your finances that you want to prioritize or consider prioritizing in 2023. What does that plan look like in the short term, in the medium term, and in the long term? So what do you want to achieve by the end of 2023? Write that vision and make it plain. Be clear and specific and smart with those goals that you want to achieve in 2023, and fast forward to the end of the year, you're going to be so proud of how far you've come and how much of those goals you've actually been able to achieve and smash. So just to conclude, managing your finances can be a very daunting task, but I'm hoping that with these 10 financial goals you'll be well on your way to achieving the financial success that you desire this year. So I guess just to recap, don't forget to create that budget, set those savings goals, build that emergency fund, start paying down that debt, plan for your retirement, start planning for your children, protect yourself and protect your financial future, prioritize savings, but not just savings, learning how to invest and setting yourself different investment goals. Trying to set financial goals across all those different topics that I've covered will really put you in good standing to get yourself into a very strong financial position by the end of 2023. Just like that, we've once again come to the end of another video. Hopefully you found those 10 financial goals useful, and I hope they've given you food for thought in terms of the financial goals that you should consider pursuing this year. If you found any of it useful, let me know in the comment section below. If you've made it this far in the video and you're yet to give it a thumbs up, then do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe. Share this video with at least one friend and family member, and I will see you soon for another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.